everyone, my name's Rachel, and today I'm inviting you to pause and take some time to write for the sake of yourself. So today we're going to do a short restorative writing to help you see what you need in order to care for yourself. So in short, we're going to write to discover what is it that I need to move forward, to stay the course, to allow yourself to exist as you are, or what do you need to just breathe? And I know that this can be very challenging. It can be an overwhelming question to ask at times. And so that's why I'm going to guide you through kind of a couple little things to think through in order to maybe find some small thing that you need, because for so many of us, this is not something that we think about. We don't think about what we need. We just think about what we need to do or how we need to be, but we don't really take time just to pause and think, what do I need for now? So I'm going to read through, we're going to do a settling in. I'm going to read a poem. I'm going to invite you to answer some questions and do a little activity on your own. So just take what you need. If all you needed was to hear me give you permission to write what you need, maybe that's great. You can stop the video right now. I'd love to hear what you got from it. Know at the end, I'm also going to ask you to share any methods of your own about making space for what you need or doing restorative writing for yourself or for the students or people that you work with. So I'm going to read a poem, and some of you may have heard it before. I'm going to try and do it on this screen so it isn't like super awkward here, moving this around. Okay. So it's called The Clearing by Morgan Farley, and this is one that a friend shared with me, and I've shared it in various places before. I like this poem for different reasons, but I am just going to read it without any other introduction, and we'll see where this takes us. So at this point, just take a breath in, breathe out, and listen. I am clearing a space here where the trees stand back. I am making a circle so open the moon will fall in love and stroke these grasses with her silver. I am setting stones in the 4 directions, stones that have called my name from mountaintops and riverbeds, canyons and mesas. Here I stand with my hands empty, mind gaping under the moon. I know there is another way to live. When I find it, the angels will cry out in rapture. Each cell of my body will be a rose, a star. If something seized my life tonight, if a sudden wind swept through me, changing everything, I would not resist. I am ready for whatever comes. But I think it will be something small, an animal, padding out from the shadows, or a word spoken so softly, I hear it inside. It's dark out here and cold. The moon is stone. I am alone with my longing. Nothing is happening but the next breath. So first, just consider what came up as I read that poem. What strikes you? Take a minute, pause the video, and write. Respond to lines or whatever thoughts and feelings came up or come up as you do this. Validate those things by writing them down. Next, I'm going to invite you to do some thinking on some questions. So if you need to pause the video as I go through things, just do whatever. I'll kind of talk slow at some points and maybe give some examples. So as I go through this, I encourage you to write whatever comes to mind. So first, as we get into this next section, the first thing I have to ask you to consider is, do you have some sort of resolution this year? Do you have a theme, an intention, a goal? Instead of resolution, I almost said revolution. Maybe you have a revolution. Write about that, considering what it is that you would like your future to hold, or even what you would like available to yourself. So if you need to pause and write some, please do so. And now, with that in mind, mine is reach. So that was kind of my goal this year. I've had before explore or care at different times. But this one this year is reach, or for now, to see where could I possibly go, but not really like goal busting. Make sure I do what I need to do like at all costs, but it's more of like a gentle motion that I'm kind of thinking of. So that's for mine. You have whatever you have. And the question I have for you is, considering this idea, intention, goal, whatever, what do you need to drop, set down, or offload to reach your goal, to live with your intention, or to inhabit that space that you'd like to inhabit? So take some time, if it would help, to write and consider that. What do I need to set down or offload in order to occupy this other space that I can see, but maybe I know that I'm not there yet, or I'm there, but I'm not fully present in it. So you can, after you write for a few minutes, you can pick a phrase, an image, or a word kind of coming out of that. So just write what you have, write down your thoughts, and then we'll come back and pick something out. And just know this could be something really small, like literally I need to set down my iPhone at 9 p.m. or for these hours I need to set this down. Or it could be something like dropping an activity, or it could be something maybe more challenging and less clear, like I'm exploring how I can set down certain rigid expectations that I've found boxing myself in. And I've realized that they've been created both from others and from myself. So I have these expectations that feel really rigid, like the expectations of what good teaching looks like, or what nurturing is supposed to look like. And really, I found those very confining. And I've really struggled continually coming up against the wall of, this is something that I'm either not meeting this expectation, or I feel like I've failed, or something. So I have a couple thoughts that I know that it's not going to be easy to set down or start a habit. It's something I need to explore, like what does this even look like? So after you've done your writing and you have your idea in mind, your phrase or your image of what do you need to set down, this is where I want you to consider, what might it look like to start doing that, to start setting that thing down as you move forward. And so this is really where we get to the question, what do I need? And as we do that, maybe you have some ideas and you can just start writing them down. I'm going to encourage you to participate in a ritual, because it's really easy for some of us to just kind of get stuck in our heads and think like, okay, I need to do this, 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 and this, and just blast through without ever slowing down and considering, okay, is this really what I need? What might this look like? So in order to help us continually examine what we need to set down, or how that thing is coming into our lives, I would like you to find an object that's going to help you physically do this. And this can be a ritual that you kind of come back to. Maybe you repeat, maybe you just take this object with you, or maybe it's something that you can just remember doing. So choose an object that will help you set down this thing that needs to be left behind for you to move forward. So you can choose something like a piece of paper. You can choose a crayon or a bit of leftover candle. That might seem weird, but stick with me. Maybe a rock, old pottery, or piece of china. So it can be anything that's really like laying around your house or sitting next to you. Like I have this crayon here. If you're like me and you have children, you probably have 50 rocks somewhere in your house. Somehow they just keep coming in. So consider what it is that you have around you, or that you have in your space, that you can say, okay, I'm going to grab this thing because it's nearby. And you can do a couple of things as you look at letting this go. So if you could write down that word or phrase from your writing to say, what does it look like? What do I need to do in order to let go of something so I can move to something else? So you can write that phrase down. And if it's on paper, you can safely burn it. Please be safe. Or if you want to take some time and do some watercolor, you could do that and then just sink it in a basin of water and kind of watch it dissolve. Using magic marker on rock, I've seen that done, and just washing it off. And so like a very physical engagement with both writing it down and then physically doing the task of washing it off, and sometimes like feeling the grooves and the bumps and the roughness of the rock as you go through that process can be really kind of neat. You can also throw it. So take a rock, couple rocks, write some things down, go to a pond, go to a river or creek, throw it in, or drop it in gently. You could also just do something like find a leaf or a banana peel or something and write it in, go to your backyard, or find a little pot in your house and put it inside, you know, a little old eggshell, write it gently on and put it in. And that thing that you're letting go will slowly decompose. And, you know, looking at that flower, you can think about how that process of letting go can really be nurturing to something else. You can also, this is kind of neat for those of you who are more visual too, write it on a candle with the wrapping paper off, or like an old piece of, or the crayon, or a candle that you like almost burned the whole thing, and write it on that and then safely melt it as well. And that process of the wax just kind of changing shape and morphing and really distorting that thing that you need to let go can also be a really cool image to carry with you. So I encourage you to pause and do that thing. I would love for you to share or take a picture of that thing that you did, or even a video of you just chucking a rock somewhere, or putting it on old pottery and just smashing it on the ground and then, you know, cleaning it up when you're done. So that would be, I think, just really helpful for us to see, as we know that so many of us are carrying things that we need to sit down, and it's really hard to do that alone. We need a community in order to help us do those things. So as you do that, or as you consider that, you also might find it helpful to write, what does it look like in my life to set down this thing that I'm carrying that's not serving the purposes that I have for myself anymore? Or why is it so difficult to do? Because sometimes setting things down involves a grieving process. I have to grieve the person that I wanted to be, that I created these expectations for, who I am not. And that is really not healthy for me to continue to strive after that thing, because that's not who I am. So I need to grieve that in order to set those expectations down. And just for some of you, if you want to flip this, you can also think about, what do I need to pick up? And some people might prefer to do that. Thinking about, what is it that I need to carry with me? A habit, a way of thinking, an attitude, or a phrase that's going to give me permission to do or be something that I would like to do or be in a really healthy way. So as I move forward. So again, it could be like a little rock that you write it on, you carry it in your pocket or your purse. So things that you would like to carry with you, if you want to do that type of ritual of picking something up that helps give you permission to occupy space or to be a little bit different. So spend a little bit of time if you need to continue writing. If you have done your writing, you have your idea, I would love to hear down below you share a line from your writing today, or share an image or a picture of you going through this ritual, considering what is it that you need to put down or pick up. Or I'd love to hear how you responded to the poem. And finally, I would love to hear what other restorative writing practices you've done with yourself or other people, and sharing with us how we can invite these moments into our classrooms or into our daily lives more often to care for ourselves and the students that we teach. So share down below. I'm so excited to hear from you.